The streets of Tehran are awash with flags, banners, and tightly packed crowds marking the 47th anniversary of Iran's Islamic Revolution. But beneath the celebration, there is an unmistakable edge. This is more than a national holiday. It is a calculated show of strength. Senior Iranian officials walk among the crowds, using the anniversary as a platform to send a message far beyond their borders. "Let our enemies watch and learn," a top military commander declares, his words carrying well beyond the capital. Another official warns that any miscalculation by Iran's adversaries would trigger what he calls a historic and decisive lesson. The target of that warning is widely understood: the United States. As Washington boosts its military presence in the region and speculation swirls about potential strikes, Tehran is signaling that it is prepared for confrontation. Prepared, it says, to defend its sovereignty, prepared to respond with force if attacked. President Pezeshkian urges citizens to take to the streets in unity, framing the massive turnout as proof that Iran stands united despite sanctions, economic strain, and diplomatic isolation. Officials describe the crowds as a demonstration of resilience, a reminder that the revolution, which toppled a monarchy nearly 5 decades ago, still commands loyalty. The rhetoric has grown sharper. Talk of conspiracies, threats, and retaliation hangs over the speeches. The language is deliberate and uncompromising. Iran's leadership insists it has endured decades of pressure and survived. And now, as tensions with Washington simmer, it warns that any escalation will come at a cost. The anniversary has become more than a remembrance of 1979. It is a stage for defiance, a warning wrapped in celebration. As military assets shift across the region and diplomatic channels strain under suspicion, the stakes appear higher than ever. For now, the chants echo through Tehran as fireworks light the sky. But beyond the spectacle, the message is clear. Iran says it is watching, it is ready, and it will not be intimidated. Whether this is posturing or a prelude to something far more dangerous is a question the world cannot ignore.
Iran has shown over the past 47 years that it has stood firm against all conspiracies. Certainly, if the enemy makes a miscalculation, they will receive a historic and significant lesson from the Iranian nation. We are seeing that our people, with revolutionary passion, with revolutionary understanding, have always been present in all scenes. They have always frustrated the enemies. All we now are seeing their passion, and they are safeguarding their achievements made over the past 47 years with the blood of martyrs. It's very effective for deterrence and will surely disappoint the enemies. They can't do anything, and these people will be victorious. Praise be to God. This year, the 22nd of Bahman, has a special difference, and that is that this year we have rubbed the nose of global arrogance in the dirt twice. The 22nd of Bahman this year feels especially satisfying.
The warning signs are flashing, and they are getting louder. Iran says it is ready to talk, but it is also preparing for war. In a rare and revealing moment, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi made the country's position unmistakably clear. Diplomacy will continue, but without trust and under the shadow of military force. Speaking during a meeting with senior army commanders, Araghchi said Iran would pursue talks with the United States with eyes open, shaped by past experience, without trusting the other side, and with full confidence in Iran's armed forces. That single statement says everything about how close the region may be to the edge. Because when diplomacy proceeds without trust and military readiness becomes the backup plan, even small miscalculations can spiral into something far larger. The meeting itself was symbolic and strategic. Iran's foreign minister hosting top army commanders at the foreign ministry just days after talks with the United States in Oman sends a deliberate message. Iran's diplomatic track and military posture are now openly intertwined. This is not diplomacy backed quietly by deterrence. This is diplomacy conducted under warning sirens. And the warnings did not stop there. Major General Amir Hatami, Commander-in-Chief of Iran's army, issued one of the strongest public threats heard in months. If Iran's adversaries miscalculate, he said, they will face a response they have neither seen nor experienced until today. That is not the language of restraint. That is the language of a country preparing its population and its forces for the possibility of conflict. At the same time, Iranian officials are signaling growing frustration with Washington's negotiating posture. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson, Ismail Baghai, said the United States must decide if it is capable of negotiating independently or whether it remains under what Tehran describes as Israeli influence. Our negotiating party is the United States, Baghai said. It is up to the U.S. to decide if it can act independently of pressures that are to the detriment of the region. This framing matters. From Tehran's perspective, diplomacy is no longer just about nuclear terms or sanctions relief. It is about who truly controls decision-making in Washington and whether talks are genuine or merely buying time. Baghai also confirmed that Iran was willing to remain at the negotiating table for consecutive days, emphasizing that recent talks were designed to test the seriousness of the American side. But as Iran speaks of diplomacy, events elsewhere are raising the stakes dramatically. According to the Associated Press, the possibility of further military action against Iran is expected to be discussed when U.S. President Donald Trump meets Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington. That meeting alone changes the equation. Netanyahu is expected to press Trump to expand the scope of the ongoing high-stakes nuclear talks, potentially pushing beyond diplomacy and into coercive or military options. From Iran's point of view, this is the nightmare scenario. A United States negotiating with one hand while quietly sharpening the other. From Tehran's viewpoint, the signals are deeply troubling. Diplomatic engagement in Oman on one track and strategic coordination between Washington and Tel Aviv on another. This is how wars begin, not with declarations, but with parallel paths that eventually collide. Iran's leadership appears keenly aware of this danger. By convening top military commanders alongside diplomatic officials, Tehran is preparing for what it sees as a high-risk phase, one where talks could fail suddenly, or worse, be overtaken by military action. And this is where things could go wrong, very wrong.